But the only thing I ever see from the angels moving forward in the years to come, and whether it takes 50 years, 100 years, 200 years, however long it takes, we're only moving in one direction. Oh, I thought we would do something extra unique and special today. I am going to be channeling some guidance in pertaining to the little dwarf planet, Ceres. And this planet has been explored, and they're finding that there's these lights on the planet. And at first they wrote it off as being, some ice crystals on the planet. And then they went onto the backside of the planet and found that where the sun is not shining, there were still lights. So they couldn't explain it. So I'm going to dive in today and do a little bit of information on this little dwarf planet, what's happening on this planet, and then I'm going to channel some guidance from my guardian angel, and then I've got guidance coming in from conscious intelligence or ET energies that are located in our solar system that would like to talk about this as well, which was a surprise to me. So when I started to ask some questions and I was looking for some guidance pertaining to this little dwarf planet, Ceres, I was surprised to see that conscious intelligence located in our solar system wanted to voice itself and let us know what its thoughts were. Pretty cool, hey? I was like, what? Oh, the one thing I noticed immediately was this conscious intelligence that's in our solar system. It was observing. There's multiples of them. I didn't get a whole lot of emotional range, but the consciousness or the ET energy that is located around Earth is fully aware of what is happening on Earth. They know everything that's going on. So for those of you that don't know about Ceres, it's spelled Ceres. The planet itself was discovered in 1801 by the Italian astronomer Giuseppe Piazzi. The dwarf planet is situated in between Mars and Jupiter. Ceres has a very small quantity of oxygen, most of which is locked up in the planet's ice water, binding to hydrogen atoms. It has the most fresh water out of any planets in our solar system. They sent a Dawn probe over there to Ceres and noticed ice particles glistening in the sunlight. They went to the dark side of the planet. Okay, so they're thinking, okay, well, it must be just some ice crystals. The sun's reflecting off the ice crystals. But then they go on the back side of the planet where the sun is not shining. And they noticed that the lights were still on. So what could it be? They couldn't use the ice particle explanation anymore. And now they don't know what it is. How cool is that? I hope they keep going back over there and exploring. Other abnormalities were noticed on the surface. So they noticed some other odd things on the surface of the planet. And all of this can be seen if you want to go to nasa.gov. So you can go and look at the pictures yourself. Isn't that cool? So when I ask about this little dwarf planet from my guardian angel, she was the one that stepped in to chat about it first. Then in came ET energy. So what do we say ET energy is? Oh, it's extraterrestrial. It's like I can't explain what it is. It's an energy that has consciousness, that's aware of Earth and everything that's going on Earth that is located close by in our solar system. That's what it is. So the first message from my guardian angel is there are many planets in our solar system we are just becoming aware of, even when they were discovered hundreds of years ago. Okay. So even you look at this little dwarf planet, it was discovered like 200 years ago, and we're still just becoming aware of new things about it. In the future, we will become aware of many more planets further away from Earth. Can these planets have life on them? That's the question. The ones that are further away from Earth, or the new ones that we're going to be exploring? And the answer to that question is yes, but not always in the ways in which you believe or think life should look like. Some of these planets have what we call extraterrestrial life forms in the way of being non-physical beings. And some are, as we interpret, as being in physical form. So I see and feel, and in this temporary experience, I'm in physical form, right? So not all of these ET energies are in physical form. Some are in non-physical, some are in physical, as we would see it. But choose to hide away from view. Not all life forms need what we need here on Earth to survive. So here on Earth, we need water, air, certain types of foods, plant life, etc. Whereas these other energies, whether they're physical or non-physical, they don't need what we need. And I was chuckling to myself because I was thinking, you look at Elon Musk, and he's trying to build a whole other life for us over on Mars. And of course, we need this, this, and this to be built over there if we're going to make it. But if you look at what my guardian angel's telling me, there are plenty of other ET energies elsewhere in our solar system, and they don't need water, food, or air to survive. Now, here is a message from the life forces / energies that are present in our solar system that are aware of what is going on Earth and everything. They're aware of everything, okay? That's the one thing I got the gist of. I was like, they're aware of everything. All right. So consciousness and intelligence. This is what they want to talk about. So consciousness, and then we have intelligence. Consciousness is who we are, which develops over experiences, as we call it, incarnations. Okay. So your consciousness develops, it expands, it grows. So why did we come to Earth? Because it's maybe not as easy as other planets. It is a place in which you are going to grow exponentially, within your consciousness. Okay. And over these incarnations develops intelligence. And then I get like a subtle smile, like we're going to have to keep incarnating and we're going to develop our consciousness. And then as we develop our consciousness and expand and grow, then comes intelligence. And I got this subtle smile from them. Like once we get the gist of what developing this intelligence, we're going to treat the planet really good. We're going to treat each other really good. We're going to make sure everyone is taken care of. We're going to make sure everybody is fed and clothed and taken care of. So it was just kind of a subtle smile in regards to that, along with patience and knowing what is right, what is best for the whole. So that is garnering intelligence. Not only oneself. This is a group effort here on Earth, and we wish to remind you of this. Help one another, guide one another, and keep banded together against the tyranny that is taking place on Earth at this time. And this is where I'm going to talk about something I was thinking about while I was sitting on the couch the other day. When we look at the top 1%ers that are kind of running the show on Earth at this time, you would think that they would want to help everyone band together, get along, be fed, clothed, housed, taken care of. In my experience, especially when I've been walking in this path and being a medium for the past almost 9 years, it's not much fun doing it alone. I don't enjoy the experience nearly as much as when I had other mediums to talk to and I had other groups that I developed and a business that I developed and classes that I developed with the angels, courses I developed with the angels, and bringing everyone together. What would be the point in hanging back in my elitism and watching everyone around me suffer and separate and fall apart. That to me is not an enjoyable time on earth. And you could say, okay, well, maybe it's because I'm an indigo kid. The type of indigo that I am is a humanist. And the truth is that I thrive on enjoying moments where I can bring people together, help people help themselves, help the angels help people, etc. And so for me, I get what they're saying here. It isn't an enjoyable journey on earth if I'm going to do it all by myself, whether it's a career path that I'm choosing or whether it's, a hobby I'm experiencing or whatever I'm doing. So there's a lot of separateness, a lot of fear happening right now. But the only thing I ever see from the angels moving forward in the years to come, and whether it takes 50 years, 100 years, 200 years, however long it takes, we're only moving in one direction. And that is where a lot more high vibrational frequency, a lot more light, a lot more high vibrational souls being born here on earth, and us taking care of each other and looking after each other. I mean, you can't have banter and laughter when there's no one there to talk to. I look at Zuckerberg building this underground bunker on Kauai, to hunker his family down if the doo-doo hits the fan in the future. And billionaires on planet Earth, one of them, what's the name of the guy who created Amazon? He's created a moat around his house that he can set on fire to stop anyone crossing onto his property. So clearly they are feeling like they need to hide or protect themselves as to what's coming. We know digital currency is coming. Once that happens, if you speak up against the government or anyone, they can freeze your bank account. If they feel that you've had your allotment of meat or certain food products, they can stop you from buying certain things. Or if you've traveled, maybe in your car, and they know how long you've traveled for, okay, well, you can't leave and travel anywhere. So just picture that in the future. Facial recognition, just ticketing people easily. Have a look at China and look at, do you want to move in that direction? I remember saying to my angels the other day, I'm like, listen, if this planet is run by AI and robots in the future and everything is controlled, I'm going to skip that part and I'm going to come back after that, because I am not coming to Earth to be completely controlled. I remember jobs that I've had where you have to ask to go to the bathroom, or you have to mark down on a piece of paper when you can go pee-pee, or, that to me was enough for me to say, I'm not working for anyone anymore. So I stopped working for companies or another person in 2006. After that, I did some contract work, and after that, I became self-employed, and I took the power back into my own hands, and I started building my own path. I remember when I was a child, we would run around, we'd go in the forest, we'd go up in the hillside. Next thing you know, we're over there in this horse field. We went everywhere. We had a water park slide park down the street, and it was massive, and we spent all day there. My mom wouldn't even know where we were. And that to me was total freedom. And that's the kind of experience that I would prefer on Earth, rather than tippy-toeing and, having my phone on me just in case. It's a different world we live in now. And I don't want a future where the children I have are raised by robots, personally. In the future, I've been told many times by my guardian angel that there are many more high vibrational souls entering Earth. They won't have the experience here on Earth. So some of us are going to have to come back, help them while they're here. They're going to be very, I guess you could say, innocent, maybe naive. And so we're going to have to help them along the way. The next thing I'd like to ask is, what are those lights on Ceres? Are they ET energy, ice crystals reflecting with some other light other than the sun? Like, what's happening? There are some things that we're not aware of going on off planet. So as soon as we turn our attention and we start to focus on what's going on the neighboring planets, we see or experience things that don't make sense to us. But in truth, there is much going on outside of Earth in the neighboring areas in which you're not aware of, and nor would you be aware of even if you went exploring, because you're not meant to see it. For the light energy that is emitted from Ceres, I'm getting energy coming from within the planet, creating that light experience. But I'm also seeing lights or energies that are on the surface of this planet. So there is a energy source coming from the planet. Well, there is from Earth too, right? And there are also what we would call as ET energies inhabiting the surface of Ceres. And I get this chuckling, like they didn't think that we would go as far as probing this planet. Okay, to me, they don't look like people. No. And they're not in physical. So they're energy, like they're only energy. If you take the soul or your soul's energy up out of your body, that's essentially what we are too, right? And if you look at your body is even communicating to you. Your body itself will tell you what it wants and what it doesn't want, what diet, what foods it wants. So you can tune into your soul, you can tune into your body's energy, okay? But once it's time for us to go, our energy continues on. How cool is that? Mm-hmm. Okay, so how would you like to describe yourselves? Telepathic, non-physical, omnipresent, high levels of consciousness. So whatever they want to tune into or information that they want or need, they can access immediately. And they're talking about God, light and love, universal oneness is like a light highway, and you can tap into this anytime you wish to receive any information that you feel you need at that time. It's a very rare thing where you could tap in and not receive the information that you are requesting or requiring. There would have to be a very specific reason as to why you wouldn't be able to receive or retrieve information when you need from this light frequency. You know, the other thing that I keep hearing is there's this light highway that's going past Earth. So, and I've seen it too. It's kind of like the light highway that's right here out in front of my home. It just allows Jesus and the archangels to come and go, my loved ones, my grandparents, and they can just come right on out of this streak of light out in front here. And it's, I guess, easier for them. And it builds a lot of light on the property, which is great. Keeps it very high vibrational. And it's the same thing just outside of Earth. I see what is like a light highway, and I'm hearing the words light highway. It's kind of like a stop-off point for those who are curious as to what's happening on Earth, and also over the generations, if we believe in time, for certain energies to run amok here on Earth. We're going to be ascending just like the Pleiadian planets have done, except it was a lot easier for the Pleiadians to ascend without resistance or anything to buck against, because there was nothing there other than light. Whereas here on Earth, they're showing this imagery of cleaning up your room. We gotta clean things up. And then, as we move along and we're cleaning, we're also lifting and raising in frequency. We're also anchoring a lot of light with ascension symptoms. just ascending really till the end of our days here. And the planet herself is ready to go. She's already been going, so she's gone. The planet herself is ascending. So she's moving in a direction of pure light frequency. Earth is going to move in a direction of light. So when I hear Elon Musk talking about how Earth won't survive when the sun essentially craps out in the future, it won't matter, because we're all going to move into higher elevated energy. So no need to worry about that. Is it important to build a whole other village or community on Mars? Is that something that should be a top priority on Earth for us to focus on? The grand scope for everyone involved, the answer is no. And just like chuckling, and it's more important to focus on what's going on this planet and to take good care of it and everyone who is inhabiting this planet. I hear that Elon has lofty ideas that he would like to implement and put into place, and essentially with the NASA space program kind of put on the back burner a bit, his SpaceX is the one that is leaping forward and taking on new ideas and new ways of doing things. Yes. So you see, this energy can just read my mind. No problem. It knows everything. These energies know everything. There's nothing we can hide from them. So the other day I was sitting in the park, and this is what this energy is putting in my mind. Talk about this, Kristen. And I said to my partner, I said, look at that, amazing in the sky. And what we were watching were satellites. And my partner said, oh, they're really close to Earth. This must be Elon's SpaceX satellites. And I was like, wow. And we watched perfectly as 9 of them went by. 9. And they were perfectly spaced apart. And I thought, that's pretty cool. Yes, so the Lion's Gate, I'm going to be talking about that on camera too when coming in the future in August. And we're going to be talking about that too. Can't wait. We'll see if there's anything different coming. So as far as what this energy looks like, if it's too they don't want to disturb me, or because there are things that are out there that we're not accustomed to seeing. Okay. What I see with this is white energy. Correct. I also see with this is what looks like large, 2 large eyes, and like really leaning in and staring at me. And we could almost call this like not actual eyes, of course, because this is energy, but 2 openings. I feel like I'm really being watched and stared at. Let's put it that way. And how many of you are there? Around 400. I find this really quite fascinating. Is it your lights that are seen on Ceres, or are you on a neighboring planet and you're observing what's going on and we just haven't come into contact directly with these lights on Ceres? It's us. We are the ones located on Ceres. How cool is that? And they're like a really nice white light. They're pure white light, but when I look at Ceres, I see almost like bluish white. But I think that's the crystals that are reflecting, and I think that that is the light coming through from the planet out. Is that correct? Correct. And their light emanating off of the crystals. Okay, fascinating. Oh, you know what this energy is telling me? There are organisms that live at the bottom of our oceans that we would look at and say, oh, that's so bizarre looking. That's weird. There are things that are lurking. I think these lurking at the bottom of our oceans that we're not even aware of. We haven't got a clue. We haven't even seen a lot of what is available down there. And they look kind of alien or different to us. But nonetheless, they are creatures that thrive. Some of them survive over millions upon millions, if we believe in time. So some of them have been here a very long time surviving, and many thriving here on Earth. And it's the same thing on other planets, just in a different form. And again, I'm hearing from my guardian angel that in the future, there are going to be those who come into power who have all of us in their best interests. And they may not be 100% perfect in our eyes, but overall, they are imbuing a lot more light frequency, and they are operating more from their heart and their heart chakra in order to help humanity. And that is what is coming in the future. But before then, we're going to have a bit of a dip here on Earth over the next 5 to 6 years. But once we make it through that, things overall will be moving in a better direction. It may take some time for certain things to be implemented or introduced. We're already seeing laws put into place, maybe we could say, to protect tenants from wrongful evictions, etc. Certain things like this. And there will be new ideas and ways to earn a living in the future. Ways in which you have not thought of yet, that are much easier to allow and free flow into your experiences. So, for example, channeling spirit is a lot easier than cleaning 6 toilets in a day and going up and down tons of stairs and vacuuming and cleaning. In the future, there will be different ways of earning money or earning a living, helping, and also helping humanity. So some of us will learn different ways of helping humanity. Maybe you go buy a nice big piece of land, you get it insured, and then you have spiritual retreats on this land, and weddings and birthday gatherings and glamping, Airbnb, and just a 5-day stint of having, say, 30 people come and stay on your land, and everybody's going to come and hang out with each other. You know, that could produce, like, you know, if you charge around $3,000 per person, that would be $90,000 in a 5-day stint. You see where this is going, right? One thing I was channeling regularly, probably about 2 years ago, was a lot of people are going to move off grid. They're going to move out of the cities. They're going to move out onto the land, and they're going to have subsistent living on their land. So that's one thing I'm seeing a lot of, people moving off into the forest or into the countryside, buying land, using the land to generate money, living off the land. All right, you guys, I'm off. You'll see me next on July 31st, and we're going to be talking about the different ET energies. Are they encompassing us here around Earth, and who are they? And that's what we're going to be diving into next. All right, bye.